everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is the March edition of the South Range Regular Board of Education meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And Mr. Muir, if you can call the roll, please.
Tyler Bates. Here. Jack Dawson. Here. Elizabeth Johnson.
Here.
Terry Lally.
Here.
Brad Bagwell.
Here. At this time, I'd like to ask everybody to just take a moment of silence for reflection on any issues that you have on your heart or mind. Then after that, we'll stand for the pledge. Okay, stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item is to approve the agenda for this evening. Does anybody have any changes, questions, concerns? If there was none, we just need a motion to approve that.
I'll motion.
Terry moves. Tyler seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. And we'll start the evening off with some student recognitions.
Part of the night. So I want to welcome the Raider Profile students selected from South Range Middle School, Principal Zolik.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Again, so excited to have some of our middle school kiddos recognized tonight. I'm just glad that I don't have to read the size 10 font because my cheapo $1.25 dollar store glasses broke on the way home today. So again, faces are blurry enough, let alone this font. But I am going to turn it over to our teachers right now. Unfortunately, our 6th grade student, Weston Ramps, he has another commitment tonight, but Mrs. Sabota is here. She is going to read the little write-up they had about Weston. Unfortunately, he's not able to be with us, but I thought it was still appropriate for him to be recognized in front of everybody. So we'll start off with Mrs. Toot and our 5th grade Raider Profile student. You do your presentation, and then she'll. You can go ahead. Go ahead, Lily. Go stay with us.
Lily is a very special young person and is receiving this recognition for her outstanding personality, her scholarship and creativity. She exemplifies a well-rounded individual who excels in all facets of academic and personal development. Lily comes into class each day with a smile on her face, beautiful one too, and has a positive attitude about whatever the day brings. She's kind to her peers and personable with adults. She loves to help out in the classroom, passing out papers or assisting her table partners. Lily is also an exceptional student. With the assisting in her table partners, she's also a fantastic leader. Lily is also an exceptional student. She has a creative mind and loves to do projects of all kinds, including the production of her very own 5th grade writing magazine. She also gave us, she's working on a presentation. They just went to Hawaii, and she's working on a visual presentation for us, and today she told us a whole bunch about it, and it was just, she's so much fun. She really is. It is abundantly evident that Lily loves school, and her enthusiasm for learning is contagious. She's always eager to engage in something new and exciting, whether that is a conversation with a teacher, a friend, a new lesson, or activity. Another chapter in her book. She's a careful worker and pays attention to details. Lily also is an avid reader, has already received or earned over 1,000 reading counts points. You rock, kiddo. This school year, and is leading the way in our Raider Reading Counts book clubs. She has a genuine thirst for knowledge, and it's inspiring to see how actively she seeks out opportunities to expand her understanding beyond the classroom, and she helps us understand things too. She's conscientious, responsible, and a wonderful role model for her fellow Raiders. Keep up the fantastic work. You are wonderful. We're so proud of you.
Congratulations, Lily. Did Mrs. Toot say you just went to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Did you not know it was a requirement to take your principal?
Oh, sorry.
Apology accepted. Mrs. Sabota, go ahead with Weston.
The 6th grade team has chosen Weston Ramps for the Raider Focus Student. At the beginning of the year, the 6th grade students discussed what characteristics make a South Range Raider. Throughout the year, Weston has demonstrated many of those characteristics, which is the Raider Way. 5 main components of the 6th grade Raider Way are working hard, communicating, being respectful, being helpful, and being kind. Weston works hard each day and every day in class. He is always prepared, gets started on his work without being told, and works hard to finish all tasks. Weston communicates well with the teachers and classmates. He asks questions when needed, provides information that corresponds to class material, and is diligent at making sure he understands what is being asked of him at all times. The last 3 components are what stands out the most about Weston. He is respectful to all teachers and peers. He demonstrates this by listening intently to what the teachers are telling in class, being aware of his surroundings and his peers' personal space, and listening to other students' responses without judgment. His helpfulness is shown when he works well with other students on classwork, helps them to understand the material in class, and helps them recognize the correct task instructions. While being helpful, Weston is very patient, which displays his kindness. He is considerate to all students and staff by only using kind words when speaking and always saying please and thank you. As we move through the year, I'm excited to see Weston become a leader that he is. I hope the students learn from his actions as they strive to be a better Raider. Thank you, Weston, for all your exceptional behaviors you are demonstrating each day. I hope you know how much we appreciate and notice you following the Raider Way. To Weston's parents, we thank you for raising such a great young man.
For our 7th grade Raider Profile student, Mr. Rock, come on up.
I would, Addison, you're welcome to come up. I assume you probably don't want to, but you're welcome. If I know you, you're more than happy to sit back there. But hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Rock. I'm proud to represent the 7th grade team in recognizing our Raider Spotlight student, Addison Rupert. So at the beginning of the year, the 7th grade students developed an extensive list of character traits that they feel exemplify the Raider Way. As the year has progressed, each of the members of our 7th grade team have witnessed Addison demonstrate several of those attributes. Tonight, we'd like to highlight 3 of those attributes in particular. 1, her positivity, 2, her creativity, and 3, her athletic achievements. Our students determined that Raiders are positive because, in their words, we will always be supportive of others and we will try our best to be in a good mood. Addison certainly fits that criteria. She is supportive of her peers, works well with others, collaborates with her fellow students, and always maintains a positive attitude. Next, our students define themselves as creative because, again, in their words, Raiders love hands-on activities. Addison takes pride in her creativity and always works to her fullest potential. She thrives with artistic and hands-on work, and in fact, her work is so extraordinary that her teachers often ask to keep her work to use as an example in the future. If we haven't yet, we're probably going to. So thank you, Addison, for the exemplary student work samples. The final trait that the team would like to recognize in Addison is her athletic achievements. The 7th grade student said that Raiders are athletic because we are surrounded by enjoyable sports. Addison has found a passion for volleyball. When she is not playing for South Range in the fall, she participates in club volleyball to maintain her skills and competitive spirit. I can also attest to the fact that she practices at recess most days when me and Mr. Zolik are caught in the crossfire. Addison, on behalf of the entire 7th grade team, it is an honor and a privilege to have you in class. Thank you and congratulations.
Quick story, and I mean, I don't mean to take up more time, but as you can well imagine, the best part of my day and Mr. Rock's day is lunch duty. And Mr. Rock walks up to me and he goes, I think I just put my foot in my mouth. I'm like, okay, well, what else is, no, I didn't.
Shocker.
He's like, I just went up to Addison and I said, hey, big night for you tonight. She says, what are you talking about? Whoa. And he didn't know if he should go any further. He didn't know if mom and dad told her that she was being recognized. Well, aren't you going to the board meeting tonight? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like holding my breath all the way here. We're not holding my breath, crossing my fingers that she shows up because I'm like, geez, we only have 2 out of 4. Baseball-wise, that's okay, but for participation-wise, so we're just glad to see you made it. And maybe we were just trying to pull the wool over Mr. Rock's eyes. And last but not least, we have our 8th grade student, and Mrs. Staffeld will present her.
We'll go down there. So, Grace Humphreys. When
When deciding who to pick for this, the 8th grade team, overwhelmingly, there was no debate. We were like overwhelmingly, unanimously choosing you for this because you truly do capture the ideals of the Raider student. Her name says it all, right? She lives her life like with grace. She does. Grace on the stage, as you dance, grace in the classroom, as you work so hard, grace in the halls with your friends. She's committed to success in everything she does, never relying on excuses, even when you have reasonable ones. But most importantly, she is kind and compassionate. You're gonna start crying here to make me cry. Yet her kindness and compassion is not for show. She often does things privately, which truly shows the level of integrity. Look at this. This is why she's awesome. Truly shows the level of integrity that you have. We know. Her laughter is infectious. I'm sorry you guys aren't hearing her laugh right now because it's the best. And incredibly, no matter what is happening in her life, she puts that beautiful smile on and makes everyone around her happier with that great laugh. You know, every day. I just see you got a little bit. As I look around this room, I know some of you guys have young girls. I'm telling you right now, this is the example you want. You want your young girls to look at her as a role model because she really is a beautiful young woman. And we're really proud of you. And we're excited to see what you do. A little bit.
So parents, at this time, we're gonna take pictures with the board. So students, what we'll do is, you're gonna go back, the board's gonna line up, we'll stand in front, and parents, you can take some pictures. Once the picture of the board is done, then you can come up and take pictures with the backdrop and any siblings and so forth, okay? Guys, go ahead first, board in. And then students, you'll come in front. Okay, I'm gonna take one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Board out. Teachers, do you want a picture with your kids? And then parents, feel free absolutely to take whatever pictures you want. This is your time. Celebrate. This is Right. Exactly. One, two, three. All right, you're good.
1, 2, 3. Parents?
All right, thank you, teachers. Parents, if you want pictures with your siblings or backdrop is yours.
Good, Billy. Smile big. Gotta give her a kiss.
Brenda.
And you bring your gap to there, and take it together.
Billy, step that way. A little bit more.
There you go. Love it.
I know, right? Did you see her
Well, parents, you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. But if you have better things to do and you want to like get dinner and get home, this is a good time to head on out. We're going to continue with the meeting here in about 2 minutes. So teachers, thank you. Parents, thank you so much.
Mr. Rucker.
The middle of the presentation. Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Every time you watch it, you'd be like, stars. You can see them playing. I'm glad you remember that. That's good.
It was like, what the heck?
Okay, continuing on, we will move to public participation for agenda items. Anybody like to speak on agenda items? If there's none, we'll move on down to communications.
Yeah, first, I'd like to share a special thanks to the South Range Foundation for their generous support in ongoing donations to the district. With these donations, the district was able to secure KO Consulting for several grants to improve student academic outcomes and the district's safety and security measures. We're very blessed to have such an incredible group to support us. Next, special congratulations to freshman Ruby Cleveley for placing first in the speech and debate tournament, which is unbelievable for a freshman. So we're looking for big things to continue. She has to three-peat now, right? Also, we have, I was going to read this list. We have several student athletes who are first or second team, from basketball to swimming. Our swim team, some of the relays, some of their times are unbelievable. Coming from the swim world, I was very impressed seeing this. And wrestling, both Eastern Ohio Wrestling League first and second team, as well as the NEA first and second team mentioned. So special shout out to about 30 different students. Next, now I'd like Dr. Hostetler to speak to the board on services and costs through the ESE.
Hi guys, so Jared told me I have 2 minutes, and I said, you're kidding. Because he wanted me to explain how we charge, how we keep track of all that stuff. So he promised me 5. So I will do my best to stay under 5. So, and I have to learn your system, so bear with me there too. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the ESC bill, how we charge, and how other ESCs charge, and how you could get yourself in a pinch if you're not careful. So our costs are always estimated, which allows for fluctuation up or down based upon the utilization. Our costs are true costs plus a 5% administrative fee. So the graham crackers, the pencils, all of that is fixed in your cost. We collect data and enter it by minutes, days, hours, however the service is charged, and it's transparent. We share that monthly, and I'll show you what we share monthly with the treasurer, the superintendent, and your special education director. It reduces errors in billing because we can drill all the way down to the student level, which, by the way, I should mention, the data I'm going to share with you is simulated. We couldn't share actual data, so none of the numbers are real. Obviously, your treasurer and superintendent have that if you wanted, or I could share it with you, but we didn't want to violate FERPA. You only have a few students in some categories, so we had to be careful that way. How we do things also assists in submitting for threshold billing, which is catastrophic cost. We have an annual mid-year meeting with your team, my team and your team, to go over the services, our estimations, their level of satisfaction with what we do. And we adjust at that time the bills up or down. And so our billing, as I mentioned, is actual cost plus 5%. So that method benefits districts. What other ESCs do is they give you a fixed cost. So you could look on our website, you might see, and I might get the number wrong,
you might see that occupational therapy is $390 a day. Well, you might see other ESCs saying, well, it's $350 here. But because we're transparent and you know how much time you're using by student, it's easy to keep track of. Other ESCs don't provide that. So while they might have a lower cost, they can easily assess you more time than you're aware of. So that's why we do things the way we do them. And I think there's supposed to be, okay. So I want to share with you the data that your team gets. So this is, again, simulated data, not your data. So not your numbers, not your totals, none of it. So across the top, we put the services that the districts purchase from us, and then down the line there are the months of the year. And then I gotta go over here. And then we break it down, so like in November, this data shows 1.6 days of audiology. When we go to preschool, you see 235 days of preschool in that month. Well, you divide that number by the number of kids in the classroom. Does that make sense?
Wait, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, so if you see 235 days of preschool, there's really 20 days in the month, so you have about, Ryan loves my math, 8 kids in preschool. So it's a number of days. Does that make sense? Total. And so then we also have at the bottom of the utilization, the estimations. So we work with the treasurer, superintendent, special ed director every year. We come up with estimations based on the kids that you have in your district and what you're hearing, the kids that might come in. So you'll see here's estimated days and here's estimated percent, just 2 different ways of looking at the same thing. So I always look at the bottom because we meet with the team halfway through the year. So if you're 50% or more, you have 50% or more of the estimation remaining halfway through the year, you're good. If you have less than 50%, like you'll see here, 37% in physical therapy, we're gonna recommend that you adjust that. Ryan's gonna give Mario the option to adjust your payment, and then there's not a giant bill at the end of the year. So we also provide this in graphical representation. And this is by month and then by days. Any questions on that?
Actually, before you start, can you explain what ESC is and what services you provide?
That book in front of you, if I got 5 minutes, it'll take up 25.
We'll be here all night.
Basically what we do is provide special education services, related services, and professional development services. We've also added career counseling, social emotional, that sort of thing. But that book will really explain it, and if you want me to come back, happy
No,
with
it was
it.
just to give an idea to the people.
Oh, sorry.
Watching.
Sorry, everybody. Okay, I'm sure you don't want me to start over, right?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so just, this goes, I don't know if he told me how to get out of this.
Might have to do 3 lines again. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so then we have a similar report, but this is, again, all simulated. This is trend data. So this will give you 5-year trends, again, by service, and then this column is by year. So this is 18, 19 to 22, 23 in the simulation data. And also we give graphical depictions of the trends. So we keep all of this. Our people are required to enter in their minutes and days immediately. They are entered in every month. By the 15th of the next month, they are checked and ready for publication and sent to the teams. And then lastly, do I have 2 more minutes? Okay. So lastly, what I want to show you, and this is what Mario waits for every meeting, again, simulated. The only accurate thing is the original cost estimate and the adjusted cost estimate. So this is from this year. We anticipated, I'm gonna go to occupational therapy. When we met with your team last January, we said, we think our occupational therapy is gonna be about $493.23 a day. Then we realized we got some more kids that needed occupational therapy, we didn't have to hire more staff. That drove the cost down. That's why we give estimates. So instead of paying $493 a day, you're paying $484 a day. Your costs could increase. What did we increase? Doesn't look like we had increases.
I have some that are the same here, so if you look
Yeah.
at, let's say, MD Elementary, the original estimate was 132.56, it stated that estimate in our mid-year update. But sometimes they do
Yeah.
increase, and we're operating on economies of scale and pooled costs is how we're able to find efficiencies. But there's always breakpoints where if there's so much more usage needed in a particular service, right, we may have to add a staff member, and so then that can adjust those costs.
And we do use this also to staff. So we are very consciously aware of how many people we have doing the service based on needs. We allow a little flexibility because we do expect the need to adjust throughout the year. So the white is the original cost estimate, the service level or the total number of days of service. Some of these are minutes, if you could believe that. I got into the wrong field. There is a per minute orientation and mobility charge, but everything else is really per day. There's a few annual as well. So the white is the estimate. So this is the cost, service level, the estimated complete cost, and then this is the increase or decrease based on your utilization. So really, when you see an increase in a bill, the likelihood is that you got more students. The likelihood that our costs went up that much, not there. We don't do it that way. Was that 5 minutes?
Close.
I can keep going, so I'll sit. But do you have any questions? I don't know how to make this go away. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
All right, thank you all.
We appreciate it.
And Megan, good to see you.
And that's all I have for communications. Okay, so from there, we'll go on down to the consent agenda, right? The first item is the approval of minutes from the February 28th and March 6th board meetings. Are there any changes? Okay, and then we'll kick it over to Mario for the treasurer report.
Just to provide the February financials for you guys. Not much to report other than just we're approving the certificate, the amounts and rates for this year. I highlighted last meeting about the effective rates and all that. You get the adjustment, how much we're expected to collect this kind of year. So the resolution, which I'll talk about later, and the motion is provided. And then we qualify for the group rating or years of workers' comp, which is another motion, which guarantees an automatic discount on our workers' comp premium at the end of the year, which is good. So group brings the best program we get into. So other than that, you guys have any questions on the financial reports?
So that'll take us down to the then and now purchase order.
Yeah, it's just what Tracy kind of went over. So at the end of the year, our estimated days of students was less than what we actually had. So we had an increase, and obviously the POs are more than I can certify for. So it's going to be for approval.
Okay.
Yeah, and then motion to approve the following retirement. Mr. Tom Foster, custodian, effective June 1. Tom's been with us for over a decade. See him every day. Today he had his hat on and his shorts for beach day. But great gentleman. Very excited for him and his family, but we'll miss him here for sure. Next is motion to approve the following certified personnel for continuing contract. And shout out to Mrs. Pettit for helping me through this process throughout the year. But Andrew Rosen has met all qualifications per the negotiated agreement for continuing contract. And then motion to approve Mrs. Patty there for classified help for this summer. So she helps Mrs. Berkey at the high school close out the school year at the hourly rate. She also is the substitute and summer secretary for the months of June and July. And then she also helps opening the school year with Mrs. Berkey. So she's one bird that does three different tricks here. And shout out to her for her help throughout the summer months with ending and opening the school. Next is just to motion to solicit input from attendees regarding the use of IDEA funds. We have done this throughout the school year on newsletters. We actually had a parent session back in the beginning of the year of how we use those special education funds here in South Range.
Okay, so that'll wrap up the consent agenda. Were there any questions on any of those items? Concerns? If not, we just need one motion to approve those items.
Move.
Jack moves,
Second.
and Elizabeth seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Now on to the treasurer's regular agenda. So the first item is amounts of rate certification, and we just need a motion to approve the resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. So we just need a motion for that, then Mario's gonna go into it and explain before a second. Is that right? Okay. So a motion for that item.
I'll motion.
Terry moves.
So yeah, the documents provided, so the one page actually breaks down each levy and each classification, and how much each section will bring. Like I said, we're getting more projected tax revenue this year because of the effective millage for class 1 and class 2 that was coming up. So I'll start using that information as I start working on the 5-year forecast for May. So if you guys have any questions on that resolution.
Okay, there's no, we just need a second for that motion. Second. Tyler seconds that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. A motion to approve the increase in the ESC contract for fiscal year '24. The new amount is $501,846. So we just need a motion for that, and then Mario can explain. Elizabeth moves.
You can kind of go back to why we have the excess cost bill, just we have more kids that we need to service and the number of days that increased from the beginning of the year. So to make sure we don't, hopefully, we don't get more kids coming in that we owe another invoice, excess cost invoice, but hopefully it makes us current to where our contract is set to the number of kids we actually have to service. So,
Any questions on that? If not, we just need a second to approve.
Second.
Jack seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. On to the Ohio Deferred Compensation Plan. The motion to approve the adopted agreement to include a Roth 457B option to our Ohio Deferred Compensation Plan.
I'll move.
Tyler moves.
Second.
Do you have anything you want to go over on that, or?
no, so yeah, just right now there's only a pre-tax plan option available. They emailed me that it has a plan just to make it available.
This is an additional option for.
Yeah, so it's an after-tax option to contribute. So.
Okay. Jack with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Workers' compensation, a motion to approve the participation in the Sheakley Workers' Compensation Group rating. That's what Mr. Nero was talking about with the group that we were able to join.
Yep. Yeah, so, because of our claims history, so we'll keep an eye on it the last couple of years, so they look back a 5-year period, so a couple years behind. So hopefully in the future, we continue to qualify for it, but every year, at least for calendar year 25, we'll at least be in that program where you get that automatic discount, which right now is projected at 63%, so, which is a big savings.
That's a good discount. So we just need a motion, sorry, I didn't do that first.
I'll motion.
Terry moves. Second. Nope, Shaq.
Second.
Jack seconds. All in favor? Opposed? Carries. A motion to approve the donations for press box materials, for the softball and baseball press box. Tyler moves.
I'll second.
Was there who was that donation by? Doesn't say on here.
They wanted us to stay on, this to stay on, so.
Okay, well, whoever it was, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Terry second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. And that will take us to the superintendent's regular agenda. Motion to approve the ESC of Eastern Ohio and COG contracts for fiscal year '25. So we just need a motion to approve that initially.
I'll move.
Elizabeth moves. And Jared?
Yeah, so Tracy kind of explained daycare workers, teacher substitute management, that we're having conversations how to improve that process, hiring non-certified staff, career counselor support, data-driven needs. You can hear it's really driven on the students, on just a lot of support that they provide our kids, directly to the students.
So we just need a second for that motion.
I'll second.
Terry seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Reimbursement for substitute bus drivers, to reimburse for the CDL licensure.
Yeah, after much discussion with various entities, this is attempting to reimburse substitute bus drivers, which drivers are a shortage of drivers nationwide. So the drivers, when they get their driver's license, BCI, physical, drug testing, mandatory recertification, and all of those state mandated trainings, the driver will be reimbursed only after they complete 20 hours, which is like a probationary period. So then the district would reimburse the substitute for all this license, but then they're committed to us for up to 1 year. If they stop driving for us in that 1 year, then they're gonna sign that they owe us that money that we reimbursed them.
So do you know if they have to, like, is it just a one-time thing, if they have to retake the test? Because like every time you take it, you have to pay.
Right, yeah, there's a time frame.
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years.
So I mean, if they fail the first time, have to retake it, do we pay for both times or just one time?
No, this would be on the passing, once
Okay.
they passed.
So we just need a motion for that.
Move.
Tyler moves. Jack seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Just a motion to approve the Business Advisory Council meeting minutes.
I'll move.
Terry moves, and this is Jared.
Yeah, we actually have a meeting tomorrow that the high school counselor is attending. It's in Canfield tomorrow, but they have them every month. And the purpose of the back meeting is really talking about a wide range of career opportunities for kids and how we can get kids with career connections and so forth. So they bring local businesses once a month to an entity in the community, and then K-12 educators and these businessmen go there and they have conversations, presentations, they tour facilities with the intent of making those connections. In one of the sessions I attended, we actually started the drone conversation there. And what would it look like? Can we get some drones donated to have some teachers playing with it and so forth? And I know the middle school staff might be playing with drones up and down the hallways. So I'm very excited about where we're headed for that.
Yeah, it seems like a great way not only to show the local businesses what we're doing, but give them an idea of what might be available to them coming out. So we just need a second for that motion.
I'll second.
Elizabeth seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries. The board policy adoption, this is the second read of the following new replacement and revised policies listed below.
So these are the second read. Dean and I went through and chose the option that best fits South Range. So Neola gives us the updates with a lot of the language. Neola is the company that gives us our bylaws, our policies. And then we can choose local options on, for example, are teachers allowed to use their computers outside of the school hour? That's actually an option. We're like, yeah, because they're working on a computer, you know, so there's various options that we go through and we select, and then that turns into board policy. So these are all one that Dean took a lot of time to read and fine tooth and comb, and in cabinet, we talk about these policies in our weekly cabinet meetings.
So we just need a motion for that. Jack moves.
I'll second.
Terry seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. And MOU for the tier 3 bus drivers. Motion for that. Tyler moves.
Yeah, we talked about this the last board meeting, and I just accidentally forgot to put it on for you guys to approve it, but this is currently in the contract. If a driver drives 25 hours, then they are to receive insurance. Well, the drivers didn't want that insurance, so we have some tier 3 drivers that work 25 that didn't want the insurance, so we said you have to sign off on this MOU. And we worked with the representative for that association as well. So we talked about it last board meeting in February, and this is just having the board approve that MOU.
Okay. Need a second for that motion?
I'll second.
Elizabeth seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. With that, we've come to public participation for non-agenda items. Again, there's none, so we'll move on to our next meeting schedule. Right now, we are scheduled for Wednesday, April 17th at 6 p.m., same time, same place. Okay. Tonight, we need a motion, I'm asking for a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
I'll move.
Terry moves. Okay, Terry moves, Tyler seconds, and roll call, Mr. Nero.
Terry Loud,
Yes.
Tyler Bates,
Yes.
Jack Dawson.
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnson.
Yes.
Ryan Backwell.
Yes. Board enters executive at 6:41. There won't be any actions taken after, so feel free to leave. If you want to stick around,
Thank
come
you,
back and
guys.
close out the meeting.
Thank you.
Twist my arm a little hard.
Yeah.